Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have listened to the real element of African Union chairperson bid by Raila Odinga. The speeches from Sifuna, Orengo, and Raila Odinga in Siaya is a clear statement that Raila Odinga is not so much interested in that African Union chairperson bid that William Ruto team are hyping. Despite of the national hype around it, it is not something that is bothering Raila, not even a second. And secondly, today I want to speak to Robert Alai, to Junet, Atandi, and Opondo Kaluma. Don't attack Sifuna because Sifuna is saying that ODM is not going to be a present worship team for William Ruto administration. Today, what Sifuna said in that burial event, it is the same as what Orengo said, and is the same word that Raila Odinga is saying. So instead of attacking Sifuna, be genuine enough and attack Raila Odinga. Sifuna has been so consistent that ODM will not be a present worship team for the Ruto administration. Not there. I want us to listen to those three speeches, and first let's start with Sifuna.
Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, wewe sahi ulisema unaenda kutafuta kiti ya AU. And as your Secretary General, there are instructions you left to me. I don't know if ODM has more than one Secretary General. I am the only one. You told me that we must retain the identity of the political party called ODM as a beacon of hope for Kenyans, chama ambacho kitasimama na haki kila siku, mvua ije ama jua ije. Hiyo ndio instructions uliwachia. Baba, nataka niseme kama katibu wako, ukienda AU upate ukose, mimi nitakurudishia chama chako jinsi ambavyo uliniwachia. Jinsi ambavyo uliniwachia. Baba, kuna watu wananiambia ati tukiona mtu kama huyu rafiki yangu Kiboreti na wenzake wanasimama wanasema 2027 kura ya Ruto isipotosha watajaza. Ati ninyamaze tu nitakuharibia kura ya AU. Wanasema baba, saa hii tukiona unafiki ambao uko kwa serikali, wanasema wachukue hata watoto ya watu wanawashika, hawawaleti kotini, wanapotelea huko, abductions zinazidi, ati SG wako anyamaze kwa sababu nitakuharibia kura ya AU. Baba, watoto wamefungua shule saini wiki mbili, serikali kuu haijatuma pesa ya capitation, wananiambia Sifuna nyamaza, unaharibia baba kura ya AU. Bishop, wacha kama Mungu atanipiga radi nikufe, anipige tu, lakini vile umeniambia leo nitasimama kwa ukweli. Kama mambo ni mbaya katika taifa letu, lazima tutasema mambo ni mabaya. Baba, mambo hayako mazuri hapa Kenya na lazima tutaendelea kuzungumza. Ndugu yangu Kiborek, wewe unasema tupe William Ruto nafasi afanye kazi yake. Akikampeni yeye mwenyewe ndiye alituambia akiweka Biblia chini. Akiweka Biblia chini inamaanisha nini? Kwani unachukua miaka 10 kuweka Biblia chini? Sio sisi tulisema, ni yeye mwenyewe alisema ako na mpango, anajua kazi, akiweka Biblia chini atatatua hii maneno.
The ODM Secretary General represents the camp. There are normally two camps I normally say when I do this analysis. He represents the camp that believe that ODM must retain its identity. And Sifuna on several occasions have said that he represents the voice of Raila Odinga as the Secretary General of the party. So the attacks that Alai directs what Sifuna should stop. Because now we've confirmed that it is not, Sifuna is not his personal opinion. It is on advisory of Raila Odinga. And I've spoken about the rest that have joined government for their own selfish interest. Cannot muzzle those who feel that administration must be called out when things are wrong. The politics of conformity is not going to help the party. And I've said he's going to maintain that stand. And I think the whole thing was choreographed. The Sifuna and the Orengo team really organized themselves and what they were going to say, and they already knew that Raila Odinga was going to be on their side. When Orengo took the microphone, who is the governor of Siaya County and is the closest ally of Raila Odinga. You know, the closest allies of Raila is not Junet. Junet is a wheel deal around Raila. The real men around Raila are Orengo and Nyong'o. These are the people that grew with Raila from the ranks. These are the young men around Raila. These are people that are posturing for fortunes. When Raila makes moves, they find a way they can get fortunes around him. But the real men around Raila is Orengo and Nyong'o. And Orengo made his stand in conformity with what Sifuna had said.
Constitutions are never suspended. The law can never be suspended. You must always live by the dictates of the Constitution. If you suspend them, you may be happy now, but in the future, you regret. When Hitler formed his first government, it was a coalition. And that coalition died. Those parties completely died. So what I pray for is that the party called ODM, you can stand any storm. And even if you make compromises, you must make compromises on matters of principle. Not be part of praise and worship. We must stand firm. We must stand firm. We must stand firm. Even now in my chambers, I don't go to courts anymore. If I can tell you how many people come and say, can you go to court again? My little son, my little daughter was abducted. Kenya is crying. Kenya is crying that we must stop abductions. We must stop extrajudicial killing so that we can build a truly democratic republic. The word republic has a meaning which we can talk about another day. So on my part, I want my conscience to be clear.
I want to repeat. Those who believe that ODM is their birthright, they should stop attacking Sifuna. They should stop attacking Sifuna. There is this tabia, and no Batalai has it, that anyone who in ODM who comes out as not supporting William Ruto is branded as you are a late comer. You're told, oh, we chased Magerere Langat. No. This thing now, it is now very clear. The one talking is Raila. Yes, Allah is fond of saying that. Oh, you are talking, tutakutoa kwa party the way tulitoa Babu, the way tulitoa Magerere Langat. So what? Mlitoa Babu, mkatoa Magerere Langat, but did you find the presidency? So there are people that I think Raila must just discard around him. Yeah, they normally take a lot of bragging rights that, oh, tulifukuza Magerere Langat, oh, tulifukuza Babu. So even after doing that, what did you get? ODM politics sometimes are very interesting. Now, Raila Odinga cheekily decided to make his speech in Dholuo. The entire speech by Raila was in Dholuo. But we have the privilege of understanding because we understand Dholuo. And he also attacked the administration, saying that the issues of abductions should not be there. But of my interest is this.
Inspector General of Police kono kia. Ko kia tuko ngamanadi. Jama wuok kuna mawange tek, margi makomna ng'ato ka jomoko be nitie kanyo, tineno gimna kanyo gini, to gisemaki kanyo to giyo pingo. Tae ti gini ni, irwaki matoka, gidhi kodi kucha, en jomagi. Ti kanyo kada ka jumba ariyo, jumba dek, kamar gimadi. Opingo, ok en gimiero nyiedhi duka midhi nyiewo. Onge duka mauso opingo. Opingo gin security item ma sirikal ema nyiewo. Tiyo gina polisi man kodgi. Raia man go opingo kendo ng'e yawo kiful mar opingo matiyogo ng'ama nyawadgi. En ng'ama nadi? Emomiyo kanyicha wacho gini so Ruto nowacho ni gini biro rumo. To gini mondo rum. Mondo wach mar mako nyithindo ndungu nyaka rum. Mar ariyo, en gima machielo mar wach mar ni iwacho miriambo. Ng'ato wacho gimoro kama to kodwa dhi kuchene to lok nyano nyoka wacho. Mano bed maonge. Eka piny nyalo dhi nyime. Piny ok nyalo gero gi miriambo. Piny nyalo gero ka ji chunga ratiro e piny ka. Ma gima matim thuolo ka. Omiyo an aneno ka en gima lit ahinya mosetimore kinde mokadhogi. Nyicha nono higa mokadho kane watimo demonstration, nobawa gi risasi. Pogra poga. Weche gi nyaka wach moriere. Ka piny ler kama. Maonge ni togi ka kacha. Kama chungi ano gin pile siasa, okirwa na ng'ato beni second guesser. Ana wacho ga ratiro kantie ni marach. Kama to ber. Okamanyo thuolo. Okamano. Umepoka lokra. Kada badhi Addis Ababa, tadhi na Addis Ababa to kuni ng'ato tera kuro. Kada kadhi Addis Ababa to kan gidaloka. Koso. Mama yaka wach ni mondo wabedo moriere kabisa ni weche madhi maricho gi ok wantie. Ok nyal timre ka wantie thuolo ka. Nyaka waneni thuolo obedo protected, human rights must be respected. My very important.
What Raila says there is this. Mimi mtu haizi nipeleka AUC. Someone cannot take me to AUC. And that AUC, even if I lose, I still have our home here. It is for the second time that Raila Odinga is making that statement while in Nyanza. Last week, he attended another event, he said it. Today again, he was in Nyanza, he said it. He said, that race is not a do or die. And someone should not think of taking him there. That is not there. I can tell you that Raila is not so much bothered about that AUC. And even if the Djibouti candidate can make a good case for Raila, Raila can even leave that race for him. I know you won't believe me. I know you won't believe what I'm saying, but I'm saying it. Raila Odinga given an option to bolt out of that race will not even take him a minute. Hakuna kitu Ruto atafanya. Will not even take him a minute. The man I'm seeing talking in Bondo. Huyu si mtu wa AUC mwenye sasa eti mtu nakazana hapa unakuwa na serious eti Raila AUC. If you're putting your hopes I'm seeing people saying Kanyaga Charan. If you're putting your hopes that you think so Raila is so bothered about that AUC, he is not. He is not. That I'm a bit convinced. Sometimes when you want to understand what Odinga means is when you listen to his low speeches, and his low speeches are normally very deep and truthful, and they comes with the right emotions. You know, they're accompanied with the right emotions. His understanding, his stand about ANC is very clear. That if this is it, and in fact, I do tend to wonder. The state keeps on saying that don't criticize government, you are spoiling for Raila, AUC. Now, after 26th February, irrespective of the outcome, whether he wins or loses, what will be this excuse of now what will be spoiled? Who will they be spoiling? Will now ODM be allowed not to speak up because now they're not spoiling for anyone? Now that tells you that, that kind of deal is not anchored on principle. It is some give and take. It is some symbiotic relationship. And it's very weak. There is the reciprocity of support me for AU, then I support your government. I think, and I've listened to Sifuna say something that I partly agree with. Sifuna said that when those ODM MPs joined government, they were rescuing the nation because no one knew where the country would go. And Raila is on record saying he was called by Uhuru Kenyatta, and Uhuru Kenyatta never denied. Uhuru Kenyatta called Raila Odinga to rescue the situation because they saw, and by the way it's true, no one knew, and it's very possible. The events of July 25th, it was very clear that military were going to take power. And no one knew what was going to happen. There are some states that have collapsed, like South Sudan collapsed. There's some state collapsed, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and you can name them. So that is why the Ombaras and the Badis and Oparanya were taken there. But even after going there and serving their interest, so they tend to feel like everyone should conform, and especially in the matter of abduction. Well, usiongelee abduction, ukiongelea abduction will spoil for Raila. What Raila is telling here is clear. The ODM must speak out on the ills that are happening in government. They must speak out on them. If that means he is going to lose his AUC, that government is going to compromise on that bid, so be it. Let me tell you. This is the message I can tell William Ruto in respect to what I've heard today. Banking on Raila Odinga access to win the 2027 general election is a pipe dream. William Ruto, if you allowed Rigathi to be impeached and have the revolt in Mount Kenya, and someone advised president that you will have Raila Odinga, and that Raila Odinga vote will be able to compensate what you've lost in Mount Kenya, that person is lying to you. And I want to tell you why. In that event, it was not just Sifuna and Raila and Orengo. Even the clergy who was there. The clergy who was there said, ODM party should not become sycophants. When people are being told that we should not become sycophants, what Ruto wants as sycophants, please? Yes, sir, yes, sir. When that message is getting, that what they're saying is very clear, that when things are wrong, say things are wrong. But do you realize that ODM is also not saying when things are good? Fine. Sifuna said, say when things are wrong. But has Sifuna said something is going on well? No. So I can tell the president, Raila Odinga, don't depend on Raila Odinga to win the election in 2027. Forget about it. If you can go look for Rigathi, go and look for Rigathi mapema. Because hiyo anyanza hiyo iko. The AUC loss will not be a blow to Raila. In fact, there are a clique of people in ODM that really wants Raila Odinga to lose that seat and come back home. And Raila Odinga has started preparing his bed back home. I can tell you he's coming back to ODM, and that loss is not going to be something very unique to him. The other issue, the sub-cabinet slots given to the Luo fellows there are not going to be used as dangling carrots. They are not attractive. They are not attractive. No one is talking about them. They are not attractive to the people. So those dangling carrots, given, I don't know, Inaji, I don't know who is this other person? Those things don't add. Even those things are not enticing to some people where I'm born. They don't even know, by the way. Hata kiwauliza somebody, And they don't know. It doesn't matter to them. Raila and Uhuru team will team up and send Ruto in 2027. Yo, Mark hapa, Mark. I once said something, Mark. Uhuru and Raila, they'll form one movement that will send Ruto. A day after Uhuru said, oh, mimi na support Gen Z. Raila is saying, mimi ODM yangu lazima isimame hapo kwa kupinga. You wait. Uhuru and Raila will work together and Ruto have it rough. In fact, what is making things difficult is the way the likes of Sudis are talking. Hata kama unataka kuwa support, you can even withdraw your support. Hawa wetu wanaongea vibaya sana. Something is not right. Thank you.